Good evening. Can I ask a question, please? What you are planning to do on the YouTube? This is on the channels of the Keshe Foundation, YouTube and Facebook, or is it independent somewhere else?
Are you, Mr. Keshe, talking to me then?
Yes.
Well, that already is on YouTube. Some of them may have been taken down, and then it already is on the Portuguese, on the Brazilian Facebook.
What is on the Brazil? We don't want anything to go out that it can endanger the whole of the Keshe Foundation, YouTube, Facebook to be brought down.
Well, these classes have been going out, and then if you wish, we can take them down. This is one.
I mean, these classes are teaching classes, or what I
teaching
understand
classes.
you want, and everything according to the what do you call the rules of YouTube is followed. Nobody discuss medication or whatever.
That's correct. That's correct. The class that I did today is the class that I'll be doing in 3 weeks on the Brazilian channel.
As long as we do not put in danger the position and the YouTube channels of the Keshe Foundation, we have no objection. But we want to monitor this, that does not cross the line, that it gives opportunity to the people to take over or to lock us down.
Well, I hope that I'm complying with that, with these presentations. I think all the presentations have been documented.
Yeah. No, I thought you're doing something new or whatever to change anything. We got to understand that we got to follow the rules, that we do not lose our teachings. We are Keshe Foundation is doing a lot of work in the background to get the technology regarding Corona to be brought out. But we have to be patient. We have to be patient, as this is a multi-trillion business. You got to understand, once these injections are introduced, it becomes annual event. Every year they want you to take a new version of it. So it creates billions of dollars for these companies. This is the beginning of, and what we have seen, the reports coming out, we've seen already side effects, we've seen number of deaths from the injection, but we have to be totally out of this line till the process is fully firmed and confirmed. And we ask you not to avoid any connection as that we found a solution, the cure or whatever. This has to be avoided, that we can keep the channels of Keshe Foundation worldwide operation.
The presentation that I made today is indicative of that. I believe I have been very careful to not include things about.
Thank you very much. But it has to be monitored. Or we need the monitoring of it, that those who translate or who do something in translation, we don't cross that line with all the time to the Italians or to the Portuguese or any other language.
All of these have been recorded, and they're being transcribed, in process of being transcribed, and are forwarded to the Keshe archives.
Thank you very much. It's just that to be alert.
Who was the artist?
Pardon?
Onde vous allez ser?
Ike, if you were talking to Mr. Keshe, I just muted you. I'm sorry. There was some noise in the background. It just seems like this YouTube has been pulling the rug out from different platforms with or without cause. This is what I've noticed.
Well, the point with the disclaimer is to, first of all, state that position. And then the second thing is it doesn't exonerate us from, you know, being vigilant and being careful with respect to that. So the teaching that I have been going through has been exclusively for the plasma science.
Thank you very much. It's just that to be vigilant. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for the reminder of that. We all need that all the time.
Yeah, we welcome Norway back in. People from Norway, they're very excellent. We've been a great supporter of the foundation for a long time, and it's nice to see them back again. Even the threat which hangs on them by the prime minister, that they're trying to stop the Keshe Foundation in Norway. We have to follow the rules and regulations of Norway, as we don't want any of the Keshe Foundation supporters to be hammered with, I think it's about 300,000 krona damages for anybody does or whatever. So please be careful. And we thank you for all your support in Norway.
She's put in the chat, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Yes, we have to keep low still, but this year many things will happen. And as Randy put in there, YouTube are demonetizing many channels with no warning, and some channels are taken down completely with also no warning. And Facebook are blocking many people's ability to share, quote unquote, on their timeline.
Hello, Mr. Alex. Could you come also in Romania after 21st March for these classes?
Yeah, I don't know who's organizing the Romanian group. My classes are exclusively for the Keshe Foundation and no others.
It's Keshe Foundation. It's Keshe. We have twice. We have in Wednesday and we have on Friday.
Yeah, whoever's organizing that can you know, if they can make the arrangements.
I asked for a translator, and he said you have to set up the time, and we will arrange, because we have someone who is teaching every Wednesday, but after 21st March he's not available. So you can do it on Wednesday if you have time.
Can I come in, please? Because I think it's important for Alex and those who are participating in this process. Please go to the education department of the Keshe Foundation. The education team then supports you and can back you up with everything else. Like this teaching you've done, Alex, has to go through the education department. They're active and they can support you or whatever it needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Any kind of education process you take up in any country, please communicate with the education department of the Keshe Foundation.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay, thank you very much.
The contact is education@kpssi.org. The standard care, just put education.at.kpsi.org. You get response immediately. They meet 2-3 times or twice a week on a regular basis.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is it advisable to stay away completely from this subject and stick with space and energy production and agriculture for now? Regarding this technology?
Can you repeat, please?
Would it be advisable to stay away from this subject for now and just concentrate on the energy side of it, the space side of it, and the agricultural side of it?
In a way, it is wise, but in a way, we committed, to me, in falling short of our duty. Every call can save a life, we do not know. And every piece of knowledge can save a life. We've seen it because I sat in these groups for weeks, day and night during the operation in Iran, and we saved many lives, many lives. One girl of 9 years old, one girl of 14 years old, they saved the whole family. And we don't want to stop working on it, but we have to be careful. We have to be careful that we don't make a statement that endangers the whole operation of the Keshe Foundation worldwide. And that's the only concern we have. And it needs just one missed word, and that's what they're after. We are negotiating with governments, we're negotiating with authorities, we're negotiating with universities. Everything is getting done. Papers have been published, shouting papers. But we have to understand that, as I said before, this is a multi-trillion business. They want to get paid for around about 4 billion people, around about $20,000, $30, $50 per injection from governments. This is an investment return. This is not one-off today. Corona has a new version, then another one. They make it like a flu. That's what they're planning to do. And as we've seen reports today that the first 125 people from the first series of injections in America have lost their lives. And then a set of it, which has been posted around, we are reading. So we know has other things. We don't know what other nations' injections are, but we have to be vigilant for the work of the foundation. In the coming week, new technology is getting, we don't release any more technologies. We are developing and enhancing and applying the new technology. The Keshe Foundation research centers don't release any more new technologies into public. And this is the way we operate till we find a solution internationally for what is come to come. We can connect clearly with the use of new systems, success, and in a way, with all the work we could do, we have not managed to break through because they don't want a free technology to take place where hundreds of billions of dollars can be earned from. And we have to. This is going to be this has been brought up, and those who don't do have these consequences, and the nations who have the consequences. We will announce a success situation with the nation very soon, but we are shutting up. We're totally shutting up because we've seen the enemies of the foundation sit in this chat room. In this chat room amongst you, you know who you are the ones who are after the control of the Keshe Foundation. Takeover of the Keshe Foundation. And we become very wise. We don't announce. When you hear, now I make an announcement in the past few weeks, is where I want these people to go to because we have a plan for them. And if you notice, we don't give any notices. But we have to be vigilant. And we have to keep with the ethos of the foundation. We release new technologies in a different way. We work in totally different dimension. We took that everybody will be good. We took that everybody will be honest, everybody will be the ethos of Keshe, but they're not. They came to literally take over the foundation. and they think foundation is something they can take over, and then they can add to it by taking it down. So very careful, whatever we do, that we keep the work going and we can save lives. But we have to be very careful with how we spread the knowledge. The way we spread the knowledge, as some of you might know, the priest who supported the Keshe Foundation in Brazil, and we heard him, and he opened his church, suddenly, accidentally, on New Year's Day has died with a heart attack. And we know he made a request to Vatican. And in Vatican, accidentally everybody dies with a heart attack. The same as those who get poisoned by other ways. So it's very real what the situation we sit in. It's very real how it's handled, has to be handled.
You said people are sitting in this platform right now that want to take over the
You see,
Foundation?
your teaching is a spread. People are on your platform or other platforms which listen to the teachings. This is not privately exclusive. This is open. This is an open platform teaching. Yes, there are people in teachings we know, we monitor, who are sitting here for different clandestine activities. Always been, from the beginning of starting of the Keshe Foundation, there have been. We don't put people against each other, but we know who they are, we keep visual on them, we know how they do, and we have very good friends here. But we have to understand the whole structure of the foundation has to be protected, especially with the teaching, especially with Corona, especially with everything else.
But if they're allowed to open their microphone, they can sabotage everything right there.
Yep, but they work different way than you and I do because they have a different agenda.
Randy says someone within the Keshe Foundation should download all the entire YouTube channel if they haven't already.
We have backup and backups. Everything which is in public domain has been kept by the Keshe Foundation. Every teaching, everything which belongs to us and the work of the Keshe Foundation is backed up 2 or 3 times. We can come up within minutes.
And Mark, this is, I want to add, this is Azad. We don't have to stop talking about the knowledge, because when we talk about cup of soul, cup of life, things like this, is nothing about the medication or curing, anything like this. So, and we already have established a private platform that works beautifully in terms of reaching out to people. So already we have the setup, and we don't really have to worry about any of this. The only thing is when people like Alex or other people, like when you go to teach in Italian group, they have to be careful, like from attendees, they're not going to ask a question about the cure, things like that. It has to be strictly educational the way you did it today. That's the whole point, that's all.
Yeah, that's why I went with the soul teaching. I mean, this is the final frontier, let's say, and that's why I said this way you avoid everything. And there's plenty of knowledge around the YouTube or around different platforms where people can find Cup 1 and Cup 2 and what they're all about. Or like you said, we can refer them to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Newcomers, when they come in, they start learning the knowledge. If they need any help, you just direct them to the Telegram setup we have. All the Telegram setup we have is all private, has nothing to do with YouTube, and the government cannot do anything or anybody else, as a matter of fact. So we are safe in that matter, and we can strictly share knowledge, and knowledge is about the creation and everything else around it, and it's not about curing anything.
Thank you, Azza.
And I think another factor is in time, because we go into the new cycle of, our existence, and then we actually elevating the way we're going. In time, we can do further more with our own essence, with our soul, which nobody can have any control over, because we're not computer any longer. We're just a being, and a being is more powerful than just a simple telephone or a computer. I mean, when you can communicate to your soul, why do you need a telephone?
And can you share with us again? I went to look for the Farsi meeting this week, but I didn't find it, or I had the wrong time. Can you again?
Farsi meetings is on Wednesday at New York time is at 10, and in Tehran time is 8:30 p.m. And I think in Europe time is about 4 o'clock. Yeah,
4
4
p.m.
o'clock.
CET.
4
Okay.
p.m. Yeah,
Thank you
4
very
p.m.
much.
We change it from Monday to Wednesday.
Okay, everyone's been very patient with their mics closed for a couple hours, almost 3. If anyone would like to open their mic, ask a question, make a comment, keep it within the rules.
I only have one question about the last cache bed. That is it possible to try it somewhere, or
It's
maybe
not a
cache?
bed.
Yeah, this
It's not a bed.
cache bed.
We don't have the bed.
It's an enhancement unit.
Okay, understand.
I know somebody asked him in the Vision if this was a med bed, and he said absolutely not.
You can bring it to Norway and talk to Marie. Marie can tell you the detail how you can bring it to Norway.
Okay, thank you. I will call her. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How did you hear about this meeting? You were aware of it in the past, Gamakar?
I have been invited every time, but now I got the intuition that I wanted to enter, and now it was, I only followed my intuition and came into your meeting, and I haven't been for several years because I have been in a kind of having my thoughts and work another direction, but now I feel it's time to work for Keshe to improve the interest and to make small workshops so more people can start to make their own plasma and GANs.
You've seen some of the Oasis centers. There was one in France. I think Gianni has set up some. Dean Hansen would like to set something up over here.
Yes.
You've heard of these Oasis centers?
Yes,
Is that something you'd like for your camp?
Yes, and I have a building in the center of this community, and also here on the camp I have available to offer to be a host of such a technology device. In this way to improve the interest and also the same time to be a host for practical learning and to be very low profiled activity. And in this Facebook group, we have still 1,200 members, but we didn't have any activities the last 3 years because we had the focus from our Norwegian health authorities. So I didn't want to have a fee for 400,000 Norwegian crowns, about $40,000, because they didn't want Keshe to enter Norway. But we have to continue in slow motion, I think.
Wow, that can hurt. I mean, the
Yes,
$40,000.
Keshe is informed about the situation we had in 2016. Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful soul.
Mark, you are bring interesting question. How you are getting this meeting? I am getting in this meeting from Zoom, from Telegram link, and from Facebook link. Perhaps the other is able to say how you coming in, because in that manner you know the people, you know from who it's knowing, from know to be better. It's my thought, certainly. It's not, but it's for, because it's difficult when you are co-host or host to bring people in without making, let's say, this prejudice to the others.
Dan, your microphone was breaking up a bit. Could you just state that again? You were saying, how do you know if you bring someone in, and we're letting everyone in, if this is a
Yes,
problem?
when you are host or co-host, how you know it if you know this person, how it's bringing in, because when it's happened to bring, not let's say wrong person, with other intention, how you know it? With your soul?
That's what I was going to say, but I always am for everyone coming into the meeting, but apparently there's some funny actors out there.
And this is not the first time it's happening. It's always been like this. But Keshe Foundation has always been watching over this.
It's been happening even in the, meanwhile we're doing the interview on Wednesday, on the 30th. We had a Zoom for the knowledge seeker who didn't have Facebook or the radio, and we had a problem there. But now it's like Mr. Keshe said, we start to be more strict. So we're just asking when we see someone that we don't know, what's his name, and we let him come in one at a time. So, and we also were thinking to show again the, somewhere in the foundation, in the website, there is written like a clear conduct, no? So we want to reread or make clear to what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do. So we don't jeopardize the foundation. So matter of fact, last week I definitely go back to say that to organize meeting with the representative of the Keshe Foundation. So Ella, so we make sure we are always online with her, and yeah, in such a way that we can find a way that we all can work together. So yeah, so I'm just gonna say this at the moment, yeah. And we have more people coming in now in the Italian teaching. So this also is very good. Yeah, so we have to be more aware and careful on a way that, you know, just don't do anything that can jeopardize all of us, yeah. Okay. Thank you for your support.
Stefan, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Just remember that when we asked people to sign the peace treaty, that kind of separated the people that are giving. And, you know, that's the thing. Instead of, in a way, we want to embrace those that seek help, but they may have other intentions. That's how we bring more people in, is that we continue to be open and seek these to help even the people that are suffering because of what they've done, because they don't deserve to suffer for the rest of their lives either. They all deserve second chances. And so I would say, you know, the thing that separates a lot of people is those that talk about that technology but don't ever make it. They never put their intention into creating something. That's how you can tell about a lot of people, or that won't say that they will sign the peace treaty. It's kind of the thing that they don't even need to sign it, but they can't even say they will sign it. So I just would like to remind people back from when we were in the beginning, where we invited everyone, and we still want to be very open. And the things that separate the people is the closer they get to the technology, it either changes them for the better, or they just cannot go any farther, and that separates them too. Even though there's in the past there's been some very dedicated people, but eventually it led to their own demise. They had to go that far, and I just want to try to remind people of the peace treaty, and the whole ethos behind all of this really will separate those that have not so good intentions from those that have intentions that are peaceful. Thank you.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
I don't think we can, you know, separate people in the level of if they sign the peace treaty or if they make something, because the very good example of it, the person who was sharing bed with Mr. Keshe, I mean, just with Mr. Keshe for years and years, and look what happened. So we can't really say who is against the knowledge, who is not. It's just the conduct of it, and they can come in many forms. So we cannot make a rules for who is going to be with the knowledge or not. So even somebody who's closer than somebody like that, it turned out to be something totally different. So we never know. So we in all aspect, we always have to be careful. Even the person you think is done so much, created so much gadgets, or made so much ganses or this and that, we really know what is the true intention. And we cannot say somebody who hasn't made anything, that person is not in the right direction or somebody else is. We just have to be careful, that's all.
Yes, definitely. The way, because I find myself now in you know, in the way expanding the situation. I think definitely the main things is the conduct. So, and this shows every day. So each one of us have to be self-responsible to give their best, and to, like Mr. Keshe said in the past, even if you find people that you don't like, but we share the same vision, and we all having good conduct, we are all equal. So in life, many times we find people that maybe come from other directions, so they have a completely different view of or way to be than maybe the one that you or someone does. So we have to really open up. I really ask to, actually I should not ask anything. So we have to, what I try to do is to open up the heart really 360. This is when we talk about unconditional love. This is where is the true, where we learning the truth of the unconditional love. So it means you have to treat everyone equally, and then they have to be self-responsible of their conduct. So I agree, for example, what you just said, Azar, and agree what this other gentleman said before. So we have to leave open, but really monitor. I don't know if it's the right word, monitor the conduct, but just make sure that between us we all, because sometimes people, they mean in a good way, they want to do good, and they come with their way, but sometimes it has to be clear what is from the foundation and what is not from the foundation. So for example, if someone, and maybe Mr. Keshe, correct me if I'm wrong, because it's something that goes on. So if someone, knowledge seeker, learn from the Keshe Foundation, and then he goes in his house and make his own things with the knowledge is required. This is what we want in one way, because it's not copy and paste. But on the other hand, you cannot go around and say put the logo of the Keshe Foundation, or put the face of Mr. Keshe. The two are separate. So you are a knowledge seeker who we share knowledge, and I, for example, I push those people to go in the testimonial where they can show what they've been doing, and bring their own, experience, but this has to be clear. So what we did on last Friday, when we had this internal meeting, we push on this, where we are freely sharing knowledge. We're all in different backgrounds, and we all want the same things. So creating this, getting control of our own life, and creating the world, that we want. But we have to do this together. So we have to be united. So we have to don't take things personal, and do our best, and don't judge. Don't judge others or look others. I found sometimes.
Sorry, can we move on from this subject? This is North American teaching. I think we made enough comment on it, and let them carry with their work. Thank you very much.
Yes, good evening, everybody. I have a question, Mr. Keshe, if you're allowed.
Yes.
In your teaching, you said analyze cup 1 and decipher cup 1. This is the last teaching. So anyone have done it, if may I ask?
Which one is cup 1?
Cup which gives you life. It's called cup of life.
Did anyone analyze that?
What would you like to know?
If you analyzed it.
You know, Jalal, I didn't analyze it, but the cup is analyzing me.
Well, what I've been thinking about lately, and when Mr. Keshe said you have to sort of be like an electron, where you're to receive from your cups, you have to be lower than your creation. And this is how the creator receives from his creation. To be humble, to be lower than the creation you created in order to receive from it. Just as with the unit, if you want to go somewhere, you're creating a much weaker field, and the field or the place you want to go to is a stronger field, so you're automatically pulled in that direction. So we must become lower and humbler to receive from our cups, as I'm seeing it right now.
May I ask, Mr. Alex, this energy of plasma, dynamic plasma or plasma in general is a kind of scalar energy like Tesla energy, longitudinal? If you know, or Mr. Keshe.
I'm not a rocket scientist, but you know, as soon as you say longitudinal, you're talking about only one dimension. The plasma energy is multidimensional and has multiple energy states, as I've said. So we're looking at the picture from a totally different perspective. You have to incorporate the totality when you're looking at the energy transfer. So it goes from state to state, and it goes within the state, within the range, within the state as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the big revelation, as far as I'm concerned, with respect to understanding how the plasma energy states are operating, is that we can actually see all the states visible within our physical state. So when we talk about looking at the physical state and ignoring the field states, we have to understand that the same principles apply in the field state. And so we have to transcend that and understand how the energies are flowing in the higher levels. We have to understand that they follow the same rules and that they manifest the same way in multiple energy states simultaneously. So this is the new dynamic that's coming within the understanding. Thanks for your question.
I ask because electromagnetical fields and waves and this energy emitted by these fields are latitudinal, horizontal, I mean, and plasma is vertical. The sense. How is the sense? This was my question, if you know.
You are looking at all there are multiple dimensions. So in terms of the physicality, we're looking at, say, the X, Y, and Z axis. And being able to look at that, we are in a fourth dimension. You know, the lower dimension cannot create a higher dimension, because if it can create a higher dimension, then it would occupy that dimension. So we are already occupying that higher dimension. That's the realization for those of us who are emphasizing our physicality and want through our physicality to, shall we say, connect with nature. We're going at it the wrong way.
And
we are nature.
Can I add in, please? Sorry about Alex. I think what she's asking is in the what we call in the physics terminology she's referring to, if I'm correct, if I understood correct, we are talking about helix spherical, where the field, as they expand out, they follow a sphere direction, not the helix vertical. Because in physics, in terminology with physics, we have direction and field forces. In the term of plasma, the fields not only follow spherical shape, even in the universe, they follow helix fields, which means in center they open up, and in the edges of the sphere of the plasma, they return back into. So you have vertical and horizontal, as we call it, the process of what I call Tesla or Dr. The German professor Meyer. It doesn't work the old physics way. This is why we could not predict the position of the electron within the boundary of the proton. It was unpredictable. Now, if you understand the field forces, it's very predictable. We know when the next position of the plasma of electron would be. The unpredictability is taken out of it once you understand the helix spherical motion of the fields of the plasma. Is not anymore gravitational or magnetical, is both at the same time, depending which field forces and which boundary and position has lower field effect to pull or to receive. Is no more vector the way we used to call it.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Yeah, it's okay.
Just wondering, where is everything going in Linz? I understand the country is still shut down. Are we still, the exhibition center is obviously has everything in there, and have they suspended what you have to pay for that exposition center, or is the foundation being billed for this?
These are internal affairs of the foundation,
Okay.
but the exhibition has to be closed till the 18th by the regulation. And after the 18th, the exhibition center will tell us how we fit into the new regulation. There's going to be a new announcement tomorrow by the authorities in Austria, which we have to follow. The exhibition as it is, nothing has been moved. It's just a total lockdown because in the ground floor now is the, what we call the Corona Center for tests. And most probably very soon will come the Corona Center for injections. Till the 18th, the exhibition center, by order of the government, is shut down.
Mr. Keshe, I received a call from a Baha'i friend. He's member of National Spiritual Assembly. He's a doctor, and he has this network of hospitals in Romania. Queen Mary is the name of, we put Queen Mary. And he said he doesn't know you, and he asked from which country you are. I said he's from Iran. And he said, but he is not Baha'i. If he's not Baha'i, I will not come. You know that many Baha'i are scared about, even me, they said you are a nice person, but sometimes you are naive, and don't tell to the people you are Baha'i, because they can make you something bad. And especially if you go to Iranian embassy, don't tell you are. Please, they just said as friends to me, because we want to protect you, to protect me. And he said, if he's Baha'i, we will come and we will collaborate, but maybe they scare. I don't know.
The Keshe Foundation is independent of work with any religion or scientific organization. We are religious blind, scientific blind, and colorblind. People take position according to what is benefit them, what is beneficial to them.
Yes, and he is very, very busy. He said I'm sorry, I'm busy, maybe other time, I don't know. And he advised me to take in action, but if I'm allergic, no, because I'm allergic. So he's a cardiac doctor. He works now in he has a foundation, Queen Mary, and he's giving free treatment for old people, and his wife also free education for poor people. Maybe in the future, I don't know, maybe they will be able to buy this unit, enhancement unit. I will talk to them step by step. She's a physicist and he's a doctor, so they are able to understand plasma knowledge and science. Anyway, I will see, because my wish was to invite them to come on Friday to Brazilian meeting. And I am so sorry about Padre Chico.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. I'm Reno from Italy, and I have a question. Why these evil people, they planning to make this mass vaccination, and they think about make evil stuff. They have contact with other kind of extraterrestrial being. They maybe, is this true? They may have contact with these people, or it is just people from Earth doing this stuff.
People who make these things, they see a bottom line, finance and power. And space is a very peaceful place. So we can't see people from outside creating such a condition. Then this depends on the maturity of the man, what they say, what I would like to say.
So all the thing
you can scare a lot of people about a lot of things, but not necessarily is what it is and what it could be.
As I was thought about it, because you always say it's like the space is a very safe place, and we still in a code in this planet because we have not reached the point of maturity, and we keep it going with this aggression, and so we can get out. And I thought, how can being from outside, being evil, is nonsense. So all the things about extraterrestrial working with humans and make evil stuff, that's all rubbish.
Put it this way, if they wanted to do anything to Earth, would have done it in the past millions of years. So we don't see for it to be that way.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Would anyone else like to make a comment or share something? I have a question.
Mark, hi, it's Dean here. I can ask a question. If Mr. Keshe would like to answer, obviously that's his decision. Mr. Keshe, in Linz, it's a real shame to hear about the exhibition centre just being dormant. But does it really matter? Because we can all be sat in our chairs or led on a sofa or whatever we're doing. And can we imagine ourselves? Can we think ourselves into the enhancement units and experience whatever it is we need to experience? Can we connect with them?
At the moment, the system in Linz are not active. They've been totally deactivated. But as we have started the structure working, they interact. I have not been there for past month, but surely when we go back, we'll find out exactly what's going on there. As when I was there about a month ago, I was asked to leave. I couldn't stay there long. But once we get the opportunity to go back in, the systems are totally changed. Even we replace the new system inside once we get a chance. And we'll be able to allow certain new things to happen. But we have to wait till we see.
I hope so, Mr. Keshe. It's for all of us. It's that moment we're all we're like fish in a bowl. We're all gasping for air. We're all experiencing those moments where we would love to feel the fields and have that beautiful embrace of the soul engaging outside of the body, so that we can have peace all around us. That we can bring this wonderful technology of the universe forward to mankind instead of this this old regime still encapsulating our physicalities.
There's a lot to be done in the next few months, and new technologies, new materials, new science, which is getting developed to be released. But we have to be confident in what we do, that this time, in a way, we use the past teachings as a board to see how humanity responds and how it behaves. And the new knowledge, the new science which is developed, will take a different path of, in a way, sharing and how we teach it. It's fundamentally different than how we behaved before, but now we understand more in that we can't trust everybody around us and how things are. So we work on the basis that we trust everybody this time, but we use the technology that they cannot interfere.
So how can each one of us as a soul really help the foundation in these moments, Mr. Keshe? By spraying the waters, as Doug has just said, on Sundays, and whenever we feel like it, by our thoughts and intentions, teaching, how can we really, what's the best way we can serve and help the foundation and humanity move on, get to this beautiful position that we know is coming, that's here?
Well,
really,
there is, I mean, when I look at it, and even today, I received a message from one of the, what I call, most trusted knowledge seekers within the foundation, that how things have been done and how those who are close to the foundation plan different things from what we planned. And in so many ways. The only thing we can do is to teach, continue to teach in any shape or form. And the time for the work of the foundation has come, is completed. The enhancement units will be very different than what their jobs or what they deliver will be very different than what we were expecting in the first series of them. And with that, we deliver new technologies. And this technology comes with a more or less the soul teaching and application of understanding the work of the soul. And in the next few weeks, we extend on it very rapidly. And this is why in the past few days, or past 2 or 3 weeks in the teaching, public teaching, we opened the position of the how to make systems to work with the soul of the man. It is now, I was explaining this to knowledge seekers recently. We are going through a process where the soul of universe, or what we call the universal soul, the knowledge, the ethos, will be embedded in the original soul of the man created within the womb of the mother. Up to now, man takes a soul according to the strength of the mixture of the amino acids and the structure of the father and mother eggs and the sperm. With a new technology, we embed the soul of the universe in that place, which means for the first time, the children of man will carry the soul of the universal soul within them at the point of birth, which is a radical change in the structure of the life on this planet, where up to now, mankind always relied for the soul to be created within the dimension of the amino acid. Now we teach the ways that mankind carries the soul of the universe, but the physicality of the man. And at that interface, man will never do wrong. And this is the change.
So, Mr. Keshe, does that mean we have to wait a generation?
You have to wait till 21st of March. Onwards. Takes one soul to change the whole. And this is where we are striving to do. That we elevate the soul of man to the soul of universal community, where you don't need to learn the language, but you understand all the languages of universe.
And it was man, present man, was that man's been gifted this knowledge at birth, this new soul, this new this new soul, is it will take a physicality if it chooses.
This is the whole objective of the new cycle, where the soul and the physicality together decide. There is no separation. Up to now, you had the physicality of the man, or those who are elevated high enough could be in the dimension of the soul. Now, with this process, both coexist. You can manifest yourself if you wish, or you can live in the dimension of the soul. The basis of this teaching has been is even in the patent. I hid it so nicely in the original patent. So man progresses to the next step where we don't carry the soul of the man the way it's connected to amino acid, but we carry the soul of the universe, which understand the work of the amino acid, where the physicality in a way becomes within the structure of the soul, and the soul being captured or imprisoned by the physicality, the also soul of physicality of the man.
So we're talking about the creator within all of us being present. One of Alex's images I saw he produced, the picture of the brain of the man. I saw from your teachings, I remember the central line of the universe, and the creator resides within the central line. And I saw within the brain of the man, the image that Alex had, that it looked like the central line. And then the brain, obviously the matter state, the fields coming into matter state, producing the physical brain. But the central line, that central line that could have been one of the axes that Alex talks about. For me, that teaching that you gave, that many times you've mentioned about the creator being in the central line of the unicos, seems to be significant now.
As I always say in all the teaching, we teach, and it is according to the intelligence and the knowledge of the man to how to use and develop the technology for themselves. And this process has started. We cannot reverse it. That the mankind as totality has begun the process of the conversion. We would not pull the man into the universal community as to be dragged on or dragged in with shouting and howling. We embed the soul of the universe, that the man changes within.
Will the man understand this, Mr. Keshe? Will the man comprehend this knowledge? All man, or certain souls? Or is it the overall soul of humanity will, once, as you said, one soul is enlightened, the whole of humanity will be as one with this knowledge?
We had to forgive a lot and not forget, but we had to evolve a lot to bring this forward. And in so many ways, the knowledge of the creator within the soul of the man always been there. But now man gets access to the knowledge of the universe that allows him to be able to live and survive and travel within all dimensions of the creation, where you don't need what I call a bodysuit to become the traveler of the space, where the man lives within the structure of his own soul, but his universal soul. In a very short time, we'll open this door. Much, much shorter than we can think. It's the knowledge, and you all have it. You've all been born with it, but you do not know how to use it. And enhancement units and others, they become tools for this evolution.
I think mankind is certainly the people on the panel and the knowledge seekers are they're awake to this beauty now, this knowledge that you've shared so beautifully, and I know within us all that we feel that these precious moments are the field strength is gathered to a point where we, as you say, we don't need these tools. We feel it. I feel humanity all of yeah, I can only speak for myself as a soul, but I seem to go through periods where I feel the forces, the field forces of a larger body, and all its traumas and all its beauties and joys and fears, all sort of all the forces rolling through from one point to another. And I think humanity is starting to feel as one, even though it's we're feeling some of us are feeling having a lot of anxieties or whatever it is, but it's still feeling as one. And in the totality of the knowledge and of the universe, the whole, it's part of the whole. So
Dean,
it's a big new understanding, I think.
Dean.
Yes, Jalal. Hello, Jalal.
Hi. Can you feel your nose? It is
Yes.
in the front of your nose.
Yes, Jalal. Thank you. But that's my physicality, Jalal.
You know, Mr. Keshe, we need to make a group of deciphering your talk, what you teach.
It'll take you thousands of years.
Yes.
Even it's so simple. As man knowledge increases, they see different angles in the same word to understand different knowledge within the same word.
That is the beauty of diversity.
Jalal, can I ask you a question? Sorry, Mr. Keshe. Jalal, can I ask you a question? Have you thought about your cup of life? Have you analysed it?
All the time.
And so your thoughts and intentions, your manifestation of your soul is within that cup, in the matter state?
Yes, of course. Whatever you do, this is your creation. So
if you go through all the teaching, or if you have been through some of the teachings, we have covered, and I repeat this again and again, all aspects of life. A lot of teaching which I've done in the past years will have a totally new meaning and a new understanding once you understand how to create the soul of universe within you, and then how you will communicate with your soul of physicality, with your physical body. Because the soul of the universe is, by order of magnitude, is much more powerful and will overcome the soul of the man and soul of the physicality of the man, even though they'll be embedded within it. This is why in many teachings will come very clear to most of you. I always say in a chemistry, you see in the, let's say, sodium and potassium as a molecule added to something, maybe to a water or whatever, you see molecules, you see a structure, atomic structure. In plasma technology, the fields interact within as one entity, but hold their own structure and strength. So in a coming time, in a short time, very shorter than maybe handful of what we call universal time, mankind will have his physicality within the structure of the soul of the man, within the soul of the structure of the universal community, all coexist, and is the decision of who allows what to be manifest according to the wishes of the physical or soul of the man. It's a new structure, and it's the only way we can walk mankind away from war. We can walk away mankind from killing. And this has been well planned and well executed. And we have enough momentum, a mass of knowledge seekers and those who understand the structure to bring that change very rapidly. You got to understand over 300 million people have heard, been, or around the foundation work at the moment, and increasing in a different way totally at the moment. And all it started with one man some 20 years ago. In 20 years, we have reached 200-300 million. Next 12 months and 2 years, it'll go meteoric. Then we can reach all those who understand. All these teachings will be heard by every man who can understand and listen to. But the technology will deliver on its own. But we are not here for the technology. We are not here for, as one Dr. Kostova told me, our Earth is a prime, what do you call it, site. That's why you lot come here. We can create prime sites anywhere. We can produce whatever we like. It's a short-sightedness of understanding what the reason is of the creation. Will change a lot of things in a very, very short time. I received what I wished for. I was gifted what I asked for. And for it, we give back. We have found peace. We have found what we call resolution into everything. And in that process, everything is on course. But many of you, children and grandchildren, will carry the soul of the man that you are aware of. We have started the process. And the process will take shape, and we teach it in a very correct way in the coming months. This will be taught. Enhancement units will be a ground where world population will learn how to elevate their souls. If you would have carried on with that interview from Italy last week, I explained, if you can go back to it and play it, I explained, and in the other teaching, in the enhancement units, we don't create gold, we create the soul of the gold. That if that soul is happy, is comfortable to be manifest itself, will manifest itself in that position, knowing what is going to be used for. Is it going to be used for a golden bullet, or is it going to be a process to save a life? Because even the soul of the matter has a responsibility in this process of life, let alone the man. You cannot create anything which can bring harm to any soul, to any existing life, anywhere in the universe. Now that you understand this, your misconduct here can affect the soul you're going to create in another universe where your soul is supposed to manifest. So there shall be no misconduct. We elevate the soul, but the way mankind is not aware of and he'll become aware. So you will understand very rapidly. You still can live a beautiful life in the physical life and the way you live or how you want to live, but now you're aware that you can live in the dimension of the soul too. To be loved and to be held by one you love will become in the level of the soul after that, not in the dimension of physicality. Then the soul will not lie. And the physicality will enjoy the time and the place.